It's 100 years. Last year, at the end of September, 100 years people have been flying around the world. In Seattle, where it all started. The Navy supported the first flight. There were 4 biplanes. They started out with wheels, they changed to floats, they went back to wheels, they changed to floats. They took off April 6, 1924, landed back in Seattle, September 28, 1924. And so last year in September, a bunch of us were invited to Seattle to commemorate this first flight. What happened? They headed out from Seattle up to Alaska. The first biplane crashed in the fog in Alaska. They continued on, Japan, Southeast Asia, India, England, Ireland, USA. The second plane was lost due to oil problems in the UK. 2 returned to the US, flew across the US, and returned to Seattle after 354 flight hours. What I found most fascinating about this is prearranged points. The aircraft had their engines changed 5 times and then wings fitted twice. So you wonder if it's really the same plane that landed and took off. Anyway, it counts. They were the first ones. So we were invited to display our planes on the ramp there. We had 3 days on the ramp. We talked to the visitors that came through and around. We did interviews with TV and magazine journalists, and we gave presentations. The Museum of Flight was right next door, and we gave presentations over a couple of afternoons there. And then to commemorate the date and time, we did a flyby on Magnuson Point where they all started, took off and landed. So we did the flyby and then came back to Boeing Field. This is the group that made it there, with our planes or without our planes. Some of them just joined us for the party, and this was in Harry's place near Seattle. And so we had a good Earthrounder mini meeting, just like we make friends here. A lot of people hadn't met, and we met and united there and had a good time. So what's happened since then? Since 1924 through 1970, 37 flights around the world. The 20 years after that, 65 flights around the world. The 10 years after that, 75 flights around the world. The 10 years after that, 77. And the second decade in this century, 117. That was our peak. We've slowed down since then. In this last decade, because of COVID, because of wars, because of not being able to get through certain countries, we're off to a slow start and almost halfway through the decade. So who knows whether it's going to continue to increase in pace or not. But that's where we stand in the last 100 years. A huge thank you to Claude. As we've said, he flew around the world in 1996 in his Aerostar. That's when he started doing the research that Marty talked about. Started meeting people. One story you forgot, Fleming. When Fleming and Andrew arrived in the east coast of Australia, Claude flew his Aerostar from where he was in Perth all the way across to have dinner with them one night and then flew back. His intention was to meet every Earthrounder he could. And he started these meetings so he could meet as many as he could. But that's one of Fleming's favorite stories. He wanted to communicate with all the pilots and then set up the Earthrounder meetings, and he wanted to ensure the continuation of this history. He didn't want it to be lost, and we're going to keep it going. So around 2011 and 12, he set up a board. Many of us didn't know about it, and many people don't know about it, but this is the first time we're officially talking about it to help him with decisions. As certain members departed, Claude would choose more members or invite more members. Marty has been on the board from the very beginning. I was actually invited in 2018. Claude was very worried, is very worried about the future and continuation. So he used to send us once a year annual updates, a thick book of how the website worked, a stick with everything that we needed for that, to keep the website working, and talked about falling off the perch. Which he hasn't, he's still there, but we're little by little trying to prove to him that we can do it. Patrick and Linda take care of the website. We're helping Swissbeck this time with the meeting. We're planning the next meeting. We're trying to prove to him that it's not going to be lost. Yes, so in 2022, in Switzerland, Patrick started running the website so they could back them up, which they do all the time now. So the board, Marty, I joined, as I said, in 2018. Fleming and Angela joined after that. Patrick and Linda. Oh, sorry. Stand up. Margie. Thank you. Ladies. remember we met Angela, a part of the board. Linda, Tom and Veronica, and our newest member, Ignace. So we're trying to keep it going. Where Earthrounder meetings are held, an Earthrounder volunteers to host a meeting in his or her country. In Switzerland 3 years ago, a couple of people stood up. Soyspek volunteered his country. Ravi volunteered to do one in Niagara Falls. The board got together and we try and change the continent so it's not always in or close to the same place. And we chose Soyspek, and the host then picks the date for the best weather in his or her country and organizes the event. And then in the past, Claude and Gerard, and now the board, assists the conference organizer, the host, with the content of the conference because he can't do everything. If there are multiple offers, which there were before and there have been at other times, we try and change the continent so that we're not making it too close to one set of pilots and too far away for other sets of pilots. So we keep moving around the world. The next meeting, okay, just as I was started this trip, we got a proposal from Argentina to do the next meeting in March 2028. However, we haven't made a decision yet. If there are people that would like to make a proposal to host in their country, make a proposal to any member of the board and explain what you would like to do, and we will, based on where meetings have been held in the past. As far as Argentina goes, the last one in South America was 2010 in Brazil. So we'll try and balance it with how long since a meeting has been held in your area of the world, but we will look at any offers that we get and then announce to everybody where the next meeting will be held in 2027 or 2028. I think that's it. Yep, that's it for me. So let's take a quick break. Oh, any questions first? Let's take a quick break. We'll set up Soyspek's presentation.